Good evening, students.
Good evening.
Today onwards, we are solving MCQ questions that is from physics, chemistry, and biology section. Okay, so this will be helpful for your board exam also. So I think in this month you have the midterm examination, right? So when you have the midterm examination,
24th.
okay. So in the in this month, September 24th onwards. Okay. So it will be helpful. Okay. So you have the MCQ question also. The pattern will be like board exam pattern only. So board exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ pattern ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ತರ pattern ಇರುತ್ತೆ. But only
ಬೋರ್ಡಿಂದ
these chapters will be there. Yes.
ಬೋರ್ಡಿಂದ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇಂದ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಆನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಬರೀತೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಇದು ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ MCQ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್, 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಸೊ ಆ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಟುಡೇ ಆನ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸಿಂಗ್ MCQ ಕ್ವಶನ್. After that, 1 mark, 2 marks question, like that I will discuss. Okay, so I hope this will be helpful for your um, examination, for midterm also and for your board exam also. Then one more point. um, so we have already completed the midterm exam portion, right? So we are discussing these questions. After completing the midterm exam, we can continue the second sem portions. Okay, so any doubts? Is that clear?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so first question is, so here we are discussing both physics, chemistry, and biology session questions. Okay, so and note down the questions. Which of the following observation help us to determine the whether the chemical reaction has taken place? Okay, so change in the color, change in the state, evolution of gas, all of the above. Here, if which of the following observation that helps for the whether the chemical reaction takes place or not? So commonly what we observe when the we can say the chemical reaction taken place. So sometimes change in the color also occurs. So we have seen the many chemical reactions in that color changed, right? And sometimes change in the state also occur, and sometimes evolution of gas in some chemical reaction. There is a evolution of gas. So all of these three are correct. In some chemical reaction we can observe the change in the color and change in the state in some chemical reactions, and in some evolution of gas also we can observe. So by observing these all factors, what we can say, there is a chemical reaction has taken place, right? So what will be the answer? Answer will be all of the above. Okay, please note down this. Okay, uh, can I change the slide? Shall we move to the next question?
Yes.
Okay. See here, write the balanced chemical equation of the following. So you should write the balanced chemical equation. Here, iron that is reacting with the water, and that is forming the iron, and that is the ferrous oxide and hydrogen. Here, carbon dioxide and water that react, that forms in the presence of, there should be in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay, so that is forming the C6H12O6, O2 and H2O. So can you balance this reaction? Yes, anybody, please. Here in the reactants, Fe, how many atoms are there? 1. Here hydrogen is 2 and oxygen is 1. But here ferrous, that is having the 2 atoms, and here oxygen is 3 and hydrogen is 2. So we have to start balancing where the highest number of atoms are there. So in which element highest number of atoms are there, that is in the oxygen, right? So here 3 oxygen atoms are there, here 1 oxygen atom is there. So what we have to do, just I will put the 2, then only 2 oxygen atoms will be there. I will put the, just a minute, okay, here 3 and 2 2 ಅಲ್ವಾ? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಇದೆ. Then how we can balance this reaction? Just I will put 4. Okay. So here 4 oxygen atoms and 8 hydrogen atoms are there, but here only 3 oxygen atoms are there. So now we have to balance the ferrous. Here, sorry, we have to balance the oxygen. Here only, um, just I will put the 2. 2 3s are 6 atoms are there ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, 6 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು 6 ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 6 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ 12 H2 ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ 12 H2 ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಪುಟ್ ದ 6 H2. ಸೊ 12 H2. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 Fe ಇದೆ. ಸೊ 2 Fe ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಪುಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Then CO2 plus H2O, C6H12O6. So C6 is there. So I will put the 6 CO2. So here 6 oxygen, 6 carbon atoms. Here also 6 carbon atoms. And here oxygen 12 atoms are there. But here 6 plus 2, 8. Here, sorry, 6, 12 plus 13 atoms are there. So just I will put the 6H2O. Okay. ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡೋಣ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಒಂದಿದೆ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ 3 ಇದೆ, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ 2 ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಈಸ್ 6, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಈಸ್ 12, ಸಾರಿ, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಈಸ್ 12 plus 2, that is 14, and oxygen is 8. So we'll start with the hydrogen, balancing the hydrogen ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಆಗ ಸರಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಇಂದ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಈಗ. Here hydrogen 14 ಅಲ್ವಾ? So 14 hydrogen ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 12 plus 2. Just I will put the 7 H2. So that will be a 14 H2 ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Then 7 oxygen plus 2, 9 oxygen atoms ಆಯ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ 6 plus 2 8 plus 9 ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸಾರಿ, 6 oxygen 2 6 plus 2 8 plus 1 9 oxygen atoms ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ 2 plus 7, that is the 9 oxygen atoms. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಪುಟ್ ದ 6 ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ನಾನು 6 ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಮತ್ತೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಈಗ, 6 ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇಸ್ 12 plus here, ಸಾರಿ, 12 plus 1 13 ಆಯ್ತು ಅಲ್ವಾ? 13 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 6 plus 2 plus 1 ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು, 9 ಆಯ್ತು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ 9 ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಪುಟ್ 6 ಹಿಯರ್, 12 plus 1 13, and sorry 12 plus sorry, ಇಲ್ಲಿ just a minute, just I'm getting confused here. Here 6 CO2 ಎಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ 6H2O. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೇನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ 6 ಆಯ್ತು ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು 6 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 12 18 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ 18 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ 6 ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಪುಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ 6 12 plus 6 18 plus 1 19 ಆಯ್ತು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಓಕೆ 6 plus 6 12 plus 6 ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು 18 ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ನೌ. ಈಗ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೇಳಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ?
12.
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು 12 ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು
ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ? ನೋಡಿ, ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ. ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಾ? ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಇದು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾನು 2 times ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡೋಣ.
ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ 12 ಬರು.
ಎಲ್ಲಿ
ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್
ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ 12 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾ?
ಎಸ್ ಮಿಸ್.
ಓಕೆ, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಸರಿ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ
ಸಾರಿ,
ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ 6 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ಡ್, ಬಟ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 6H2O ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ, 6O2 ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಷ್ಟಾದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. 6CO2 plus 6H2O. So in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, so it will produce, that is glucose, C6H12O6 plus oxygen. These are the main product. You have to balance this reaction. Okay, so ಈ reaction balance ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. 12 oxygen 6 plus 18 oxygen molecule, and here 6 plus 12, that is 18 oxygen molecules, 6 carbon molecules and 12 hydrogen molecules. So it is balanced. So ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ balanced chemical reaction ಅನ್ನ ಬರಿಬಹುದು ಅಲ್ವಾ. So this is the actual reaction. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? 6O2. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Next question. In a chemical reaction, 2 or more reactants combine to form a product is called combination reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement reaction, and decomposition reaction. What do you mean by combination reaction? What do you mean by displacement, double displacement, and the decomposition reaction? So here what happens when the 2 or more reactants, so in reactants 2 or more reactants will be there. For example, A plus B, so that is giving the products, only single product they will produce. For example, AB product will be formed. So what type of reaction it is? Is it decomposition reaction? No. In a decomposition reaction, what happens? Only one reactant will be there that is able to produce the 2 or more products. Only one reactant. For example, A, this is the reactant. So this is able to produce a more than one products are formed, that is called as a decomposition reaction. Double displacement reaction and displacement reaction. So in displacement reaction, what happens? The displacement of the molecule will takes place alva. In double displacement, where the positive and the negative ions, they will displace in a reaction. But in combination reaction, what happens when two or more reactants, they react and produce the product, single product, that is called as a combination reaction. So here all four types of the chemical reaction and examples are very important. Okay. Okay, please note down this. Note ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಾ? Next question. CaCO3, that is calcium carbonate, form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This reaction is example for. So what type of the reaction it is? Combination reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement and decomposition. What type of the reaction it is? Yes, anybody? What type of the reaction it is?
Decomposition reaction.
Yes, very good. That is a decomposition reaction. Okay. Next question. In the following reaction, which of the following is oxidized and reduced? So here two reactions are given. Zinc oxide reacts with carbon and form the zinc and carbon dioxide, and manganese oxide that reacts with hydrochloric acid form manganese chloride, water and chlorine. Here, which of the following is oxidized and reduced? So zinc is oxidized or reduced? Zinc oxide that is able to form the zinc. When the when the reactant is losing the oxygen here. So oxygen ಅನ್ನ ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So what it is called? That is the reduction. When the element that is getting the oxygen in a reaction, that is called as a oxidation alva. So if the hydrogen is losing in a reaction, that is also called as a oxidation. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ manganese oxide ಏನಾಗಿದೆ manganese chloride ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? What it is called? Oxidation or reduction? That is reduction alva. That is called as reduction. Hydrochloric acid that is converting into chlorine. So here hydrogen is removed. So hydrogen remove ಆಗಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ? That is called as a oxidation. Removal of the hydrogen or addition of the oxygen is called as a oxidation. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ zinc oxide ಏನಾಗಿದೆ zinc ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ in a chemical reaction. That is called as a reduction. Here this carbon that is converting into carbon dioxide, that is called as a oxidation. Okay, so but in the second reaction here HCl that is converting into Cl2, that is the removal of the hydrogen, that is also called as a oxidation. Is that clear? Yes. Can I change the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next question. Which of the following is exothermic reaction? First option A, burning of natural gas, burning of the magnesium wire, electrolysis of water, formation of the calcium oxide from the calcium carbonate. Here, what you mean by exothermic reaction? Exothermic reaction means in a chemical reaction where the heat is produced. So that is in which of the following example that produces the heat when the chemical reaction takes place? Burning of the natural gas, that is CH4. Burning of this CH4 gas, so that is also producing the heat. Okay, then burning of the magnesium wire, that is not able to form the extra heat. Okay, then electrolysis of water. Electrolysis of water means H2O, that will, when the current passes through it, it will form the H2 and O2. This is not an exothermic reaction. Then formation of the calcium oxide from the calcium carbonate. When the calcium carbonate that is able to form the calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, that is not a exothermic reaction. Okay, but here burning of the natural gas is exothermic reaction. Okay, so next question. Example for autotrophs includes fungi, plants and all bacteria, plants and some bacteria. You know that fungi is that autotroph? Fungi is autotroph? No, fungi is heterotrophic organism. And plants and all bacteria. Plants are autotrophs, but not all the bacteria are autotrophs. But option C is the correct answer. That is plants and some bacteria. Some bacteria, they are autotrophs. What do you mean by autotrophs? Autotrophs means they are able to produce their own food. Alva. So example, very important example, that is plants, but some bacteria they are act as a autotrophs, means they are not a heterotrophs. Okay, so note down the question. Next question. Pancreatic juice contain enzyme called trypsin, pepsin, salivary amylase, HCl. So pancreatic juice, so that secrete that contains some enzymes that will helpful for the digestion process. This pancreatic juice that reach the small intestine and helps for the digestion process. Trypsin, pepsin, salivary amylase and HCl. You know that salivary amylase that is produced in the mouth by the salivary glands. HCl that is a acid, that is not a enzyme. So you can cancel both of these. And pepsin that is produced by the gastric glands of the stomach. In the stomach, three types of the chemicals are produced. First one is HCl, second one is mucus, and third type of the enzyme that is called as a pepsin enzyme. So correct answer is option A, trypsin. Trypsin is produced Trypsin is present in the pancreatic juice that acts on the protein. Means in the stomach, partial digestion of the protein takes place, but remaining digestion will take place in the small intestine with the help of the trypsin enzyme. Okay, so trypsin that acts on the protein, so that is very important. Aita?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Next question. Exit of the waste material is regulated by in the human digestive system. Yes? Any doubts?
Miss Anne spinacter.
Huh?
Miss, I'm telling the answer.
Okay, okay. Yes, you are right. You know that in the human digestive system, the food passes through the digestive tract, that passes through the stomach, then it passes to the small intestine, then the large intestine, then that is exit through the anus. Anus, right? But here exit of the waste material is regulated by, here there are some muscles, they are controlling the exit of the waste material. Okay, so here which of the following is helping for that? That is the anal sphincter, intestine, large intestine, and the pancreas. Correct answer is anal sphincter. Okay, yes, note down this. Yes. Next question. In human beings, respiratory pigment is carried by. That respiratory pigment, what it is? It is called as a
Hemoglobin.
respiratory pigment. Yes, very good. That is called as a hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is carried by which of the following? Oxygen, carbon dioxide, plasma, and WBC. Here, carbon dioxide is carried by the plasma in the dissolved form. WBC, they are white blood cells. They are not carrying the respiratory pigment. But oxygen, that have the more affinity towards the hemoglobin. Okay. So this oxygen molecule that binds the hemoglobin and carry the, so that is called as a respiratory pigment, hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. Okay. Note down this question.
Yes, miss.
Yes, can I change? Okay. Next one. The function of the salivary amylase enzyme breaks down the starch into simple sugar, breaks down the protein, and breaks down the fat. You know that salivary amylase that is present in the mouth and that is secreted by the which enzyme? Sorry, that enzyme helps for what? Okay, so in the saliva, salivary glands, they produce the saliva. Inside the saliva, there is one enzyme that is called as a salivary amylase enzyme. So what is the function of this enzyme? So you know that in the mouth only digestion of the carbohydrate will take place, but a protein fat digestion will take place in the stomach and the mainly in the intestine. Alva, breakdown of this protein and the fat that takes place in the partial digestion of the protein takes place in the stomach and remaining takes place in the intestine, and fat digestion also takes place in the intestine. So here there is only one option is remaining, that is breaks down the starch into a simple sugar, that takes place in our mouth. So that is why if you chew the chapati more, it tastes sweeter because it is converting, it contains the starch. Chapatiyalli starch irutte alva, so means carbohydrate is present. That carbohydrate is converting into a sugar, so it tastes that sweet. Okay. Yes, can I change the slide?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Next question. The exit of the stomach, food from the stomach is regulated by sphincter muscles, intestine, large intestine. So already you know that when the food moves through the esophagus, it moves next, it reaches to the stomach. In the stomach, so there are some chemicals are released by the gastric glands of the stomach. Then partial digestion of the food will take place. Then it moves to the small intestine. But the exit of the food from the stomach, so here the food, partial digested food, that should be moved to the small intestine. But here some muscles are there. These muscles, they are controlling the movement of the food. Some muscles are there. So which muscle it is called as a sphincter muscle. This sphincter muscle is controlling the movement of the food from the stomach to the intestine. Okay, so remember this word, that is called as a sphincter muscle. Note down this question, very important. Okay, next question.
Yes, miss.
Breakdown of 6 carbon atom glucose molecules into pyruvate takes place in. So in the respiration, you know that when you intake the oxygen, that helps for the breakdown of the glucose. That oxygen is helping for the breakdown of the glucose into pyruvate. Then pyruvate convert into a energy, and some other byproducts also produce that process that you studied. But first thing, what happens when the 6 carbon molecule glucose that is that convert into pyruvate. First, it convert into pyruvate, that is 3 carbon atom molecule. Okay, 3 carbon atom molecule. But where it will takes place, where this process takes place? Cytoplasm, mitochondria, chloroplast, and endoplasmic reticulum. Yes, where it takes place?
Cytoplasm.
Yes, very good. In the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, the breakdown of the 6 carbon glucose molecule into pyruvate takes place. This pyruvate, it contains how many carbon molecules? Do you know?
3 carbon molecules.
Yes, very good. It contains the 3 carbon molecules. Yes. Next question. What is the function of the alveoli? In the respiratory system, the alveoli that is present inside the lungs. When this trachea that forms the two branches that is called as a bronchi, and this bronchi that become smaller and small tubules that is called as a bronchioles, and this bronchioles that ends with the balloon like structure that is called as a alveoli. So what is the function of this alveoli? Provides the surface area for the exchange of the gases, help for the transport of oxygen, help for the removal of the carbon dioxide. Here in the alveoli, it contains the blood vessels connection. Means it help for the exchange of the gases, where it this blood that carries the carbon dioxide containing carbon dioxide, this carbon dioxide is exchanged with the oxygen here in the alveoli. The oxygen is mixed with the blood and carbon dioxide is removed by the blood and it is received by the alveoli. I hope you have studied this process. So here alveoli helps for the that increase the surface area for the exchange of the gases, help for the transport of the oxygen and help for the removal of the carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Note down the question. Yes. Next question. Ventricles have thicker walls than atria in human beings. So you know that in human beings there is a four chamber heart is there, two atria and two ventricles are there. So here what they are saying, ventricles have thicker wall. Just imagine this is the ventricle. So this is having the thicker wall than the atria. Just imagine this is the atria. Okay. So what is the answer here? Ventricles have pumped the blood to various organs. They receive the blood from atria. They store the blood. Yes, they receive the blood from the atria and they store the blood. Yes, they store continuously. They are not storing the blood, but they are receiving the blood from the atria. But what is the reason why they are having the thicker walls? Because ventricles have pumped the blood to various organs. From the ventricles, blood is moved to different parts. The carbon dioxide containing blood that moves to the lungs for the purification, and the oxygen containing blood that moves to the different parts of the body through the aorta. For this reason, ventricles, they have to pump the blood, they have to push the blood to different parts of the our body. For that reason they have the thicker wall than the atria. But atria, they just receive the blood and pass it to the ventricles. That is the function of the atria. Okay, but the ventricles, they have to pump the blood. Because of that reason they have the thicker wall. Is that clear? Yes. Next question.
Yes.
Lymph. Okay. Lymph does not contain which of the following? Protein, RBC, WBC, plasma. Lymph, that is called as a tissue fluid, because from the capillaries, they are the small blood vessels. When the blood is flowing inside the capillaries, small quantity of blood that is drains out from these capillaries, and that is called as a lymph. But not all the components are drains out through these capillaries. Only few components, they are present in the lymph. What are the components of the lymph? Yes, they contain the protein, but that is in the less amount. Then RBC, but this lymph is colorless. Colorless means WBC is present, but RBC is not present. Because of this reason, the lymph is colorless because it does not contain RBC, and it contains the plasma and WBC, but it does not contain the RBC. So second option is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following is reabsorbed in the tubular part of the nephron? So what is nephron? What is nephron?
Neurons.
No,
Group of
there
neurons.
is no. There is a difference between neurons and the nephrons. Neurons are they are the component of the control and coordination system, but nephron, they are the structural and functional unit of the kidney. Structural and functional unit of the nephron. Kidney is called as a nephron. Nephron that contain the different parts, that is Bowman's capsule, then tubular part of the nephron, and the collecting duct. Okay, so this structure is also very important that we have studied in the life processes chapter. But here there is a filtration of the some blood takes place, but the large amount of some important materials are passed through this filtrate, and these filtrate, they absorb the some material in this tubular part of the nephron. Some quantity of the other substances they will absorb in this part. What are the important things absorbed in the tubular part of the nephron? Is it amino acids, sugars, water, or all of the above? Yes, amino acids are absorbed there, and sugars absorbed in this part, and water also absorbed in this part, because this filtrate contain amino acids, sugars, water. So option D is the correct answer, all of the above. Okay, so this filtrate contain these all the amino acids, sugars, and water, and this is reabsorbed in the tubular part of the nephron. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Next question. Excretion in plants takes place through leaves, resins, gums, stored then and stored in vacuoles. Yes, what is the correct answer for this? Excretion in plants. In human beings, we have excretory specialized system. Excretory system is there, and pair of kidneys are there, so they are helping for the excretion. But in plants, there is no specialized system for the excretion. But how the plants are able to excrete the some waste materials? Yes, anybody tell me the answer, how they are able to excrete the uh,
Through
some
leaves.
waste material? Yes, through the leaves, they will also excrete the
Waste.
waste materials, and resins and gums also help for the excretion of the waste materials. And some waste materials, they are stored in the large vacuoles. You know that in the plant cells, they contain the in the plant cell, they have the large vacuole, right? So this is called as a vacuole. So these vacuoles also store the some waste materials and help for the removal of the waste from the plant's body. So these three methods, they help for the removal of the waste material from the plant's body. And some waste material, they are stored in the vacuoles. Okay, and that is removed through the leaves, or through the roots also it is removed. Yes. Next question. The SI unit of potential difference is. What is the SI unit of potential difference? Potential difference means that is V.
Volt.
That is represent. Yes, very good. Volt. Ampere is the SI unit of
Electric current.
electric current. Coulomb.
Charge.
Ohm.
Resistance.
Yes, very good. So the SI unit of potential difference, that is volt. That is the correct answer. Next question. An electric cell represented as. So this is the first option, second option, third option, and the fourth option. Yes. How the electric cell is represented?
Third one.
Third one, yes. So like this, positive end and the negative end. Yes, like this it is removed. And what it is, this symbol, second one and third one, that also you should know.
Switch. First one. Fourth one. Wire
Yes.
crossing without joint.
Yes, a wire crossing without join. Here the key, that is open, it is closed. Okay. Yes, note down this. Next question. Resistance of the conductor directly proportional to area of the cross section, length, nature of the material. Here resistance, that is called as R, directly proportional to A, area of the cross section. If the resistance increases with the area of cross section increases, just I'm increasing the area of cross section. This is called as a area of cross section. Is that increase? When I increase this area of cross section, resistance is increased? No, resistance is decreased. So what we can say? Resistance is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. But when I increase the length, just imagine this is the length of the wire. When I double this length of the wire, the resistance of the material is increases. How we can write this? Resistance is directly proportional to the length of the wire. When we increase the length of the wire, the resistance also increases. But um, the nature of the material, that is not directly proportional to the resistance. Okay, the nature of the material, resistance is depend on the nature of the material. Okay, but it is not directly proportional or inversely proportional to the resistance. So correct answer is when the length is increased, the resistance also increases. That we call as a directly proportional to. Okay, uh, inversely proportional to means that should be decreased when the resistance is decreased when the area of cross section is increased. Next question. In amoeba, food is digested in food vacuole, mitochondria, pseudopodia, and chloroplast. Amoeba, digestion in amoeba, that we have studied in the life processes chapter. Amoeba, that is a single cell organism and does not contain any specialized organs for the digestion of the food. But it contains some structure that is helpful for the digestion of the food. So what it is called? Mitochondria is not developed in amoeba. Pseudopodia, they are nothing but a false feet. So these extension, finger like projections, these extensions are pseudopodia, but they are not helping for the digestion of the food. And chloroplast, that is not present in amoeba. So what is the correct answer? Food vacuole. some food vacuoles are present in amoeba that is helpful for the digestion of the food. Okay. Yes. So today we have discussed more than 20 questions in this session. Any doubts? Okay. So thank you. We'll meet in the next session. So next session ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನೇ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡೋಣ. So we are also discussing some 1 marks questions and 2 marks questions in the next session. Okay. Yes. Thank you.